There we go. The microphone's on. Hey everyone, it is a very early morning here in Victoria, about 10:30 a.m. local time right now. Let me double check. 10:29 a.m. very early. Uh, News broke about an hour ago that an arrest has been made in the Samantha Murphy disappearance. Now, let me tell you some details about it. The police did a really good job of keeping this quiet, especially with I don't know if the media got a heads up and were told, "Hey, look, you can't publish this until tomorrow morning." But it's interesting the timing of it all because he was arrested yesterday at 6 a.m. They've already had him in custody for over 24 hours now, and no charges at this time. And they haven't found Samantha either yet. But I suspect we're going to get a press conference at some point. Is that going to be today? Maybe. It could be later today. They do like to do that, but I wonder if they won't do one until, maybe they find her or press charges or something. But they could still do one today, even though it's early in the investigation of this person. I did actually hear from a journalist a couple of days ago, someone I had worked with a couple of times on different stories in Victoria. They were letting me know that the the cell phone pings that they were looking at, not Samantha's, but anyone sort of surrounding her, had provided a couple of leads, and that was a few days ago. So maybe that's what led to the arrest. Maybe it was a different piece of information. Maybe it was a public person. We don't know yet. It'll be good to find that bit out. But great news. I mean, this went on for a long time, almost over a month. Yeah, about 3 days over a month, and really no information for 4 weeks. Just everyone speculating it's got to be the husband. It's got to be the husband. So this man has no relation to the family. He is not related to anyone in the family. That is what they are saying. They're saying here, I can let you know, they say Victoria police have arrested a 22-year-old man in relation to the disappearance of missing Ballarat woman Samantha Murphy, who vanished more than 1 month ago. Murphy, 51, was last seen about 7 a.m. on the 4th of February, captured on CCTV footage in her family's home driveway. She had told friends and family members she had planned to go for a run. Victoria Police on Thursday said a Ballarat man was arrested about 6 a.m. on Wednesday. He remained in custody and no charges have been laid at this time. They say, despite a significant investigation and extensive searches of the Canadian forest area, no trace of the 51-year-old has been located. We understand that there is a continued high level of interest in this investigation and concern about Samantha's disappearance. However, it remains critical that any speculation does not impede any aspects of the investigation. Police last month revealed they suspected one or more parties were involved in the disappearance of Murphy, saying it was very doubtful she was still alive. Acting detective Superintendent Mark Hatt had previously said there was nothing to indicate that Murphy had left the area of her own accord and ruled out a medical incident. Mobile phone data provided a new lead in the search for Murphy, with detectives returning last month to a previously examined area in the Mount Clear area, about 7 kilometers south of her home, for a targeted hunt for clues. As this day progresses, we're going to find out more. More things are going to leak out, and it's going to be good news, I hope, for the family. Hey, Peekaboo Cockatiel, how are you? I didn't even have time to say hello to anyone. I just came on and started talking. How is everyone? This is weird. I'm not normally on this early. We're about 3 hours from showtime. Elaine, how are you? Gambler, Peekaboo Cockatiel, Snarks is here, DJ, Diane Marie, Gambler's here, Shivers Girl, Woos as well. Woo says, I know why Ping is going on early. Yeah, man, it's in the title. It's in the title of the show. Let's see. Marilyn Landis, Amy. Let me see what else is here. Jojo made it. Petunia. Lisa's here. All right, I hope I got everyone. Oh, Emily Narb as well. Laurie. Miley. Hey, Miley. Guys, give me 1 second. I just got to fix something. Hey, green eyed PI. All right, hold on. All right, there we go. I'm still a little half asleep, being it's 10:30. I should be awake. Ping, you need to get up at 6 a.m. Be a real man. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, let's look here. So the information's a little thin right now, being that they basically released a three-word statement to the media just saying, that 22-year-old man had been arrested in connection to the disappearance of missing mother of three, Samantha Murphy. The Ballarat local, so he's local to the Ballarat area, is not connected to the Murphy family. The man was arrested shortly after 6 a.m. on Wednesday at his Ballarat home by the Missing Person Squad's detectives. That's very interesting. They really wanted to make sure he was asleep or, you know, not on guard. They wanted to make sure he was very off guard at 6 a.m. in the morning. You get the cops at your door at 6 a.m., it's not a good thing. They're going to arrest you most likely. They want to make sure they catch you unaware. It says here he remains in custody. However, no charges have been laid at this time. The arrest marks the first significant breakthrough in a missing person case that has sent shockwaves across Australia. There's a photo of missing woman Samantha Murphy. I hope this shows you why we try and be careful about naming suspects when there's no official information, and why, fingering people early on, not in the rude way, but just, trying to point fingers at people can backfire spectacularly. I mean, maybe we find out it's a murder for hire or something. Fine, that might happen or something, but if this ends up being some sort of rogue dude who just hurt her and abducted her from her run, I mean, people spent a month blaming the husband and his business, and I mean, don't you think that compounds his loss? The fact that his entire town thought that he did it, and that he hurt his wife or something like that. That's why we do try and be careful as much as we can when there's no official statement from police. And I'm not trying to be holier than thou than other channels, but it's why we just try and be a bit careful on this channel. Yeah, it's early morning here. It's about 10:30 a.m. Hi, Laurie. 22. That surprised me too that he was so young. I really thought maybe the suspect in this was going to be a little older, maybe like late 20s, early 30s, but he's a really young fella, 22. Let me just see. And it's interesting that he is a local from Ballarat. He either owns property there or lives, in a house there. Man was arrested. I don't know how they kept it quiet for over 24 hours. I thought that would have leaked out. Unfortunately, our police force down here has a history of leaks of important information. Sometimes not even not even that. Sometimes just leaking people's uh, like mugshot, and they actually did that a couple of years ago to a person who I identifies as a woman, but it was sort of like a secret. He hadn't really told the public or something like, or she hadn't really told the public, and it was a big deal. Police officers were charged over it, over leaking those photos of them dressed in their female attire, and it was a really big court case down here because it was embarrassing for them because I think the way it was done was not respectful. It was done sort of like to point, you know, laugh and point at them as a sideshow, not as this is police business. It was more like, look at this freak, and it really wasn't cool, and a lot of people stuck up for that person as well. No, no, they have not found her as of yet. I would suspect that they might get information on where she is, hopefully soon. Earthkeeper says, "Did the crucial phone data dump help with the arrests?" I don't know, but like I just said, a reporter that I know told me that that's where they were working in the last week or so, that they had been working on sort of like geofencing, where they were looking for surrounding sort of like, uh, Where's Waldo? You know, the Where's we call it Where's Wally in Australia, but Where's Waldo? The phone that is Samantha Murphy's. You're looking for anything that shouldn't be there, or if it is there, why is it there? And I think that's what they were looking for in the cell data. It could be. We'll find out. Hey, it could have been a tip from the public. They could have been like, "Hey, my neighbor's a bit weird. I think you should go check him out." So you never know. The police have been calling for tips for the entire time. We could find out that it was how many times have we heard from a case and we're all like, oh, it was this, it was that, it was DNA evidence or whatever. And then the police come out and like say, oh, yeah, it was a helpful member of the public. They called in and they gave us a tip and that led us on the right path and we got them. So it could be something like that. Could be a mixture of different things. When did she go missing? February 4th at around 7 a.m. That was the last time she was seen. So yeah, Murphy 51 was last seen about 7 a.m. on 4th of February, captured on CCTV footage in her family's home driveway. She had told friends and family she had planned to go on her run. So there you go. I'll just have a quick look. I reckon a name is going to leak pretty quick. I reckon we're going to get a name of the suspect pretty fast. Let me just see. I hope they can find out where she is. I think that's the most important part. Not him, not the person who, may have hurt her or committed a crime. It's finding out where she is. That's the big thing. Find her first, deal with the other stuff later. We can deal with charges and stuff on that guy, forever. Find her. She's the one that's missing. Let's get her home to her family in whatever. If she's passed away, okay, yeah, just get her home. That's what we like on this channel. We like people to be able to go home to their family. It's what we like. Just trying to see if there any names have leaked yet. I'm not seeing anything at this time. Just that there's an arrest. Yeah. I'm not seeing anything like a name or any charges. If the police have headed out to a different location. Yeah, a lot of people are guessing it's the phone data. I mean, that has been the area that they really have been looking at. Gambler says he's the same age as her daughter. Is he? Hold on. Yeah, let me just see. I don't want to put her name up on the screen, even though she has been in the public. I just don't feel comfortable doing that. Eldest daughter, Jess Murphy. Let's see. I can't find it off the top of my head, but you might be right, Gambler. I thought she was a little younger than that, but I could be wrong. Let's see. Jojo says Gambler, that might be how he knew about this lady's school friends, even social media friends. Maybe. Maybe it was through connections through the local. It could even be through the business. I mean, what are they? A smash repair. I mean, that's everyone goes there for insurance purposes, for pranks and accidents and, things like that. Emily Knob says, yes, maybe. Let me have a look. Yeah, that's what I thought. She wasn't that old. They described her as a teenager in the press conference. So yeah, I didn't think she was that old. 22 sounded a little high. All right, and she's described as the oldest daughter too. Let me see. Yeah. Through tears, Murphy's eldest daughter, Jay, thanked family and, friends. So, yeah, that's her oldest daughter. Let me just see if I have something else here. The Guardian has been following this all morning. Same with the Daily. Just want to see if they're going to call a press conference. Normally, when they released a statement, but they haven't called an actual, you know, big press conference. Oh wait, no, here. That's interesting. Right here. His eldest daughter, Jess, 22. I could have sworn they said she was a teenager last time they had that press conference. Begged the community to keep searching. It's interesting. Unless they gave us her her fake age. I mean, maybe. Maybe they didn't want us to know. But there you go. That is interesting. Yeah. Her eldest daughter, Jess, 22, begged the community to keep searching. Let me see if I can double verify that. No, I can't, but yeah, I just saw it. Yeah, 22. Okay. I'll go with what they say. I mean, Daily Mail is a trustworthy and very honest, publication. It's, the pride of Australia and England. Let me check here. Let's see. It is interesting that if that's true and that they are very similar age, I wonder if there is some sort of connection there. It says here, police have arrested a 22-year-old man. Yep. It says mobile phone data provided a new lead in the search for Murphy with detectives returning last month. Yeah, so maybe they did follow that track. All right. Kelly says that's a typo. Yeah, she looks real young in the press conference she did with her father, Mick. She looks real like I thought she looked quite young, not like a woman or a 22-year-old. Like she looked little. Not little, but you know what I mean. Like high schooler, that type of thing. Must be. Maybe they doubled the age. Maybe they're playing double the age day. They're doubling numbers. Or maybe you know what it probably is? It's probably a typo. They probably wrote the article so fast, or they did chat GPT or something. They took that 22-year-old Ballarat man and then it replicated it under her name too. I'm guessing that's maybe what happened. So there we go. Yeah, I was just about to change to that gambler. You're too quick today. I was just about to change to that story. Um, Two girls eldest, the boy is 10. I haven't seen much of the boy, but it could be because he's under four, he's quite young. They're children anyway. They should be protected from the bloody media. Let's see. Marlon Clausen says good news, but sad news. Yeah, unfortunately, I think it does reflect sad news, unfortunately. Yeah, Sean, I'm live. Oh, is Shivers Girl going? Have to run. Okay, bye, Shivers Girl. The boy is a ballet prodigy, isn't that cool? Sort of like I can't remember that movie that came out like 15 years ago about a dance prodigy. Someone in the chat will know. I just saw it on a page I was looking at for Samantha. What did you see? Oh, okay. I see what you mean. How old was Samantha? She was, I'm gonna, I read it 3 times to everyone, and I'm gonna get it wrong now. So yeah, I was gonna say 51. She was 51 years old. So she was, I think she looks great for 51. She looked fantastic. All right, let's get some Rust news. Hannah Gutierrez, found guilty. I think that was always going to be the case with this one. Let's change here. And if more news pops up, if I get more news about Samantha, I will go back to it while we're on the air. I've got my alerts in another box here. You guys can't see it, but it's up here. If more information pops up while we're talking, I'll switch back. It says Rust Armorer, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, guilty of involuntary manslaughter. The New Mexico jury deliberated for about 2.5 hours. She faces up to 3 years in prison. Oh, that is a quick deliberation. When you get like an hour, 2 hours, it takes them about an hour to do the paperwork. So, like, well, that's a fast verdict. Every time I see that, it's normally, on the rare occasion, it's a not guilty. I've seen that when they are convinced it's, you know, this is a wrongful trial or something like that, and this person is innocent. But a lot of the times it means they are in agreement that it is a guilty verdict. All right, let's listen to this update.
Inside that courtroom for the Rust trial. Remember, for the movie's Armorer, we know that jurors have a verdict in the Rust shooting trial. I'm going to ask my control room if this is a live look. I believe that it is. And this is live. This is live. So this is obviously 6:07 out east. It's a couple hours earlier there in New Mexico. You are looking at Hannah Gutierrez-Reed. Again, a live look here in court as she is preparing to hear the verdict in the case, 407 there in Santa Fe, in the case against her. Prosecutors in closing arguments have told the jury that when Gutierrez-Reed wasn't doing her job, filming was like a game of Russian roulette every time an actor had a gun. You see them standing. I want to see if we have audio at all to be able to listen into this verdict. We do not have audio, but we do have a producer in court. Our Dana Griffin, I believe, is in court as well. I hear some of the background noise here. They may have just turned the microphones on. So we're going to listen in here. Now, remember what she faces, right? This is an issue where she is accused. She has loaded the gun that went off in the hand of Alec Baldwin back in October of 2021. That led to the death of the movie cinematographer Helena Hutchins. It is now up to the jury to decide if she is guilty or not of involuntary manslaughter and tampering with evidence. We do have audio now. I want to listen in as the jury is about to read out its verdict here in this case.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, through the foreperson, have you reached a verdict?
Yes.
All right, let me see the verdict form.
She needs a hearing.
Oh.
So moments away now from this verdict being read. Remember, this only went to the jury this afternoon. So they have not had the case for that long. We just saw closing arguments presented today from both the prosecution and the defense. The defense has tried to make the case, essentially, that Hannah Gutierrez-Reed was not the one who was ultimately to blame.
So repeat.
Beyond proof of reasonable doubt. Let's listen.
I said, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, through the foreperson, have you reached a verdict?
Yes.
All right, and do you wish to read the verdicts?
Sure.
Okay, I would start with count one.
Oh.
Okay, you have both of them. Will the defendant please stand?
We find the defendant, Hannah Gutierrez, guilty of involuntary manslaughter as charged in count one. We find the defendant, Hannah Gutierrez, not guilty of tampering with evidence as charged in count two.
All right, thank you. You may be seated. Let me get those forms, retrieve those forms from you. I'm going to do what's called polling the jury. What I need to.
She looked very unemotional at the verdict. I would have thought she would have looked very scared. 3 years in prison is the possible, and I mean, I don't, I don't know. Maybe she's already mentally readied herself to be going to jail. Maybe she's figured, I did something wrong. I'm probably going to go to jail. Her makeover, yeah, she looks completely different from. I was just about to say that. This is the first time I've seen her since the news broke of the shooting. She looks completely different to the photos that came out around the time of the death of at Rust on the movie. She looks completely different. She knew. Yeah, I think so too. I think she knew it was going to be guilty. She's guilty. She loaded the gun and showed no remorse. Oh yeah, she's very steely in that clip. Very steely. Amy says it's a facade. Could be. Could be. Maybe it's the drugs. I don't know. I'd need something to be going up against 3. It's not a tiny stretch in prison. She'll probably get, even if they gave her the maximum, how long do you reckon she'd be out in? 18 months? 14 months? Something like that, maybe. What is it? Is this New Mexico? Do you have to serve half your term? Nancy says, has she gained weight? I thought she'd lost weight. I thought she looked thinner. Maybe it's the stress of the trial, but I don't like to comment on women's appearances. April B says, I've been watching this trial for 10 days. She's always like that. I think it's just her. Thanks, April. Hey, April, good to see you, by the way. That's very interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I would react, but I would probably be like screaming from the rooftops, don't send me to jail. I'm innocent. Not if I did this, but I mean, in my hypothetical trial where I did nothing wrong. That happens all the time. Let's see. April says 80 months is what I understood. Yeah, that's what I would have figured. Well, I think when you're at work, doesn't matter what your work is. If you're a truck driver, if you're a mailman, if you work in a factory, or you work in a Hollywood movie, we all have responsibilities, right? And the reason we're paid more money or, you know, there's different levels in jobs, right? We're paid that money because the responsibility is on us. We're paid to take that responsibility to do our job properly, to follow the procedures. If she didn't do that, somebody died and lost their life. She has to be held accountable. And that's what's happening now. It's a shame it's only going to be around 18 months. I mean, if this was outside of a work setting, she'd be looking at, a lot more. But this actually happened in Australia too. Can I show you guys? Hold on. Music video. There was a man who was an armorer on a music video in Australia, and I'm just trying to find it. Hold on. Here. Yeah, man shot dead while filming Bliss and Esso music video in Brisbane CBD. This was a similar situation. There was an armorer who didn't do their job properly. I think they used a shotgun, and a man ended up dying after being shot in the chest during the filming of the scene. It was supposed to be sort of like I think it was, from what I understand, it was supposed to be like a card game that went wrong, and everyone sort of drew weapons or something. And one of them had a shotgun, I think, I'm pretty sure, and it went off. And see, it says here, let me see if I can find this more information. This is a very old article, listen, so here. See, firearm that led to death of stuntman while filming Bliss and Esso music video should not have been on set, coroner finds. Actor and stunt performer, Johann Offner, was killed in 2017 after a weapon that was believed to be loaded with inoperable blanks was fired at him at close range during filming. Yeah, he died, unfortunately, at the scene. A coroner has found the illegal supply of a weapon and ammunition caused the death of the actor and stunt performer who was killed after being shot with a blank shotgun round during the filming of Bliss and Esso. It says here, during the filming of the scene involving an underground poker game, another stuntman fired a sawn-off 12-gauge shotgun at close range, containing what were at the time to be believed inoperable blanks. A post-mortem determined that debris Debris from the blank fatally struck his heart. Yeah, it was really brutal. Another armorer who didn't do their job correctly and ended up killing someone. It says here, the rounds of firearm were loaded with contained illegally obtained homemade shells, which, while not containing steel projectiles, did contain ignition powder, cloth wadding, and plastic casing. The use of plastic casing and fiber filler in the shotgun cartridge shell created a projectile, so this sawn off shotgun could not be considered inoperable. They said he died as a result of heart failure from 2 projectile wounds caused by transmitted force, not the penetration of the projectiles themselves. Apparently, the armorer died of natural causes basically he could be before he could be, charged with anything or held liable. Really, he died a bit later that year. So there you go. It has happened before, and I'm sure we all remember. Is it Bruce Lee's son, Brandon Lee, that also died? I think it was a firearm on set as well. Diane Marie says, I'm hoping this changes safety in the film industry. My son is a cameraman, and all these producers care about is money, especially on that Rust one. That Rust one was a very budget orientated, very cheap film. They were trying to run it real cheap. April B says Hollywood needs to put some strict guidelines on filming with all technology we have. I think they could make fake guns that look real. I think they could make fake guns that make the noise, and then in After Effects, like post production, they can just add the flash and the bullet. They might even be able to do that already, So I would like to see that happen more, so people don't get injured. Yeah, it was same thing. Cheap and careless, I agree. Same scenario, yep, same scenario, but just in Australia and not in America. Yep. I don't, I don't take any, positive or glee from, anyone being right over this. I think it's just being done to make sure it doesn't happen again. Can't keep losing lives. So when you film movies, they're dangerous enough. Like there was a stuntman on another movie who had life-changing brain injuries from a stunt, I think they were doing like stuntman work, and it went wrong. They got hit by a car or something heavy, and they end up having traumatic brain injury, and they'll never be okay again. There's been other ones who have been killed on set, and like I know they know it's a dangerous job, and that's why they get paid all that money, but got to make it as safe as we can for them. So yeah, very careless. I just have a little video from our local news down here. It's not, it's just reiterating sort of the same stuff, but I thought I'd show you anyway. It's ABC News 24.
We know that the missing person squad detectives arrested this 22-year-old man from Ballarat at 6 o'clock yesterday morning. At the moment, no charges have been laid, so he is being spoken to by police. However, they aren't providing any further information to us. They won't tell us exactly what address or location he was arrested from, only to say that it was in the early hours of yesterday morning. And they do appreciate the media's assistance in terms of, and the public's help in terms of trying to work out where Samantha Murphy has actually disappeared to, or any information relating to her disappearance. So they say that they understand that there is a continued high level of interest in this investigation and concern about her whereabouts. But because they have now arrested this man, a 22-year-old, they they do say that it remains critical that any speculation does not impede any aspects of this investigation.
A search is still ongoing, Steph.
Yes, so just taking us back through exactly where we...
All right, I'm going to stop that. I want to read you this article that popped up. Hold on, where is it? Is it this one? Nope. I've got like 100 articles. Hold on. They were saying that there is a clue in the statement from police. I'm just trying to find it. Here. So it says, police have left a small clue in their latest statement that could indicate there is still hope. Ballarat mum, Samantha Murphy, is still alive. So where does it say? It says in a police statement released around 9:30 a.m., alerting the public to the arrest, one small sentence indicates that police hold hope she may be still found. What is that sentence? Here, that's interesting. It says here, we missed that apparently. Great sleuths we are. It says, anyone who sights Samantha is asked to call 000 immediately. That's interesting. Do they think he released her before his arrest? Do they think that she escaped? I'm confused. Where could she be that the public could find her? That is interesting. That's true. Hey, a 51-year-old woman has a few tricks up her sleeve, more than a 22-year-old. They've been around the block a few times, and they, probably can outsmart a 22-year-old. I would not be surprised. And the women in our lives are very clever. So, drugged and roaming, maybe. You would think that if someone saw her though, it would light up like a Christmas tree on the 000, which is our version of 911. It would just light up, like their call center would just start going berserk. Maybe like a pretending it's like a Stockholm syndrome type thing. You start caring for your attacker and being okay with your surroundings as a coping mechanism, possibly. I think the next stuff that'll happen is either a press conference or the police will move to a different location and the media will sniff it out. And that'll probably be the next step in this. There'll be more stuff today. I just don't know whether we should wrap it up for now and come back at 1. Does everyone want to wrap up now and come back at 1 and do our normal show? We have Sebastian to talk about. There's been news in the Maddie Soto. There was more stuff released today. If you guys didn't see over the weekend, how horrible is this? That a sheriff down there in Osceola County actually leaked the photo of her body in the brush. I think that's horrible. She's a minor for a start, and she has to be protected. And the fact that a sheriff would do that is horrible. It really is. In a bunker? How would the public see in a bunker? Yeah, I did see that yesterday, actually. Heard that. Yep, 18 years she did that. Very clever girl. I'm going to keep going until Web Sleuth starts. That would be, like 3.5 hours. I think we'll run out of things to talk about. I think everyone's a little confused because when everyone sort of rocks up at 9 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. local time down here. So I think everyone's a little out of sorts. That's why I was like, we could just stop and I'll come back at our normal time at 1 because I just wanted to get this out there because it is really good news and it's a great development in the case. I do find that little bit at the end interesting though, that if anyone has cited her to yeah. Detectives are continuing to appeal for anyone who has CCTV or dashcam footage and is yet to speak to police to come forward. Anyone who cites Samantha is asked to call 000 immediately. That is interesting. So maybe she is being held captive somewhere? I hope they can find her, I really do. Hope they can figure out where this creep has been over the last month. I'm just trying to see if there's anything new on here. No. Startling new theory. I'm just trying to have a look here. There's apparently some people are saying, how come her phone was absent for about 10 hours and then pinged off that tower? And why was it turned off and then back on again? So that would be something to be looking at as well. But, they're saying maybe the phone has been disposed of and didn't become connected to the network until that time. Yeah, but you think being around for that long, maybe they would have been able to pinpoint that and then find it. I don't think someone's picked up an iPhone and just gone, "Hey, free iPhone," knowing that there's a missing woman in the area, unless it's maybe kids and they don't understand. But you think their parents would have picked up on it and gone, "Oh, that might be Samantha's phone," especially in Ballarat. All right. Okay. I think we're going to wrap up at 1 a.m. Eastern. No, 1 a.m. here. Yeah, I don't think it would hold up for 3.5 hours. No, I don't think so. Although we've done 2 hours before. We have done 2. Yep. All right. We're back at 9 p.m. Back at 9 p.m. Sean says, is the guy some military nut and has an underground bunker in the forest there? I don't know. Anything's possible. Anything's possible, Sean. Could be. Appreciate it, James. Appreciate it. Good to see you here. Yeah, we'll be back in about 2 hours, okay? See you later. See you in about 2 hours, okay? Everyone be back here. Back here at 2 hours. An hour and 48 minutes. Oh, bye. We'll have more about Sebastian and Madeline Soto at 1. At 1, okay? I got to save some stories, otherwise what are we going to talk about? All right. See you then. Glad to give you the update about Samantha Murphy. Maybe in the next 2 hours we'll have more information. Maybe it'll leak out in that time. All right, everyone. See you in 2 hours. Bye bye for now.